Okay, so we have seen the structure of methane. Okay, the structure of methane is tetrahedral. Okay, all the four bonds in methane, that means all the four carbon hydrogen bonds, they are identical. We have seen, right? All of them have the same bond angle of 109.5 degrees. Now, if we see the ground state configuration of carbon, it is 2s2 2p2, right? So in the excited state, the two electrons in the 2s orbital, they will unpair, and we have 4 unpaired electrons present in the outermost shell of the carbon atom, which pairs up with 4 hydrogen electrons. Okay, and therefore we get 4 covalent bonds. Correct? So now if we see one of this bond, okay, this carbon hydrogen bond, in this carbon hydrogen bond, the orbital of carbon which is combining with the orbital of or overlapping with the orbital of hydrogen is the s orbital. Correct? So here there will be an SS overlap, s orbital of carbon and the s orbital of hydrogen. But about these three, we can see that the p orbital of carbon atom is combining with the s orbital of hydrogen atom. Okay, so here there will be an sp overlap. Sp overlap. Okay, so if there is an ss overlap here and this is an sp overlap here, so obviously the two bonds, this bond must be different from the other 3 bonds because the bonding is different. Here there is ss bonding overlap and here there is sp overlap. So definitely one of the carbon hydrogen bond must be different from the rest of the 3. Okay, but in the structure, in the shape that we have seen for methane, all the 4 bonds are same. Okay, none of the bond is different. But from the bonding, we can see that one of the bond must be different from the rest of the 3. Okay, so why this? In order to explain this, the valence bond theory considers a concept of hybridization. Okay, so then what is hybridization? Hybridization is the mixing of orbitals, pure atomic orbitals, to form hybridized orbitals. Okay, for example, if we take methane only, if we take methane as the example, so in case of methane, we have seen that in the excited state, there is one 2s orbital and 3 2p orbitals. So one electron occupying each orbital. Okay, so what happens, since all of these 4 orbitals generate the same kind of covalent bond while combining with 4 hydrogen atoms. Okay, so what happens here is they first undergo hybridization. What is hybridization? Hybridization means the mixing of the pure atomic orbitals. Okay, so as we have discussed in the atomic structure chapter, that the s orbital has a lower energy to that of the p orbitals for the same shell. So here the 2s and 2p orbital, among these 2 orbitals, the 2s orbital has a lower energy, right? And the 2p orbitals are degenerate or they have the same energy. While hybridization, the 4 atomic orbitals, the 1 s orbital and the 3 2p orbitals, which combine together under hybridization, as a result of that, they produce 4 degenerate hybridized orbitals. Okay, so we represent it as sp3. So why we are writing sp3? Because one orbital is coming from s and there are 3 p orbitals. So we are representing this hybridization as sp3. So on mixing of these 4 orbitals, we get 4 new orbitals, and each of this orbital is known as sp3. Okay, each of these orbitals are known as sp3. Why sp3? Because each of this orbital is formed by 25% of s character and 75% of p character. Each of these orbitals, each of these hybridized orbital has 25% s character and 75% p character. So all of them are sp3 hybridized. So now you cannot say that this is s orbital and this is p orbital and this is p orbital. No, all of the 4 are sp3 orbitals. Now there are few points that we need to remember about hybridized orbitals. They are, number 1, the hybridized orbitals are always degenerate. Okay, degenerate means they have the same energy. So here the 4 sp3 hybridized orbitals, they are degenerate. That means all 4 of them, they have the same energy. But the atomic orbitals, they are coming from, like the 2s and the 2p orbitals, they had different energy. But after hybridization, all the 4 orbitals have the same energy. They are degenerate orbitals. So hybridized orbitals are degenerate orbitals. Second, the number of hybrid orbitals is equal to the number of combining atomic orbitals. So if here you can see that 4 atomic orbitals are mixing together to give 4 hybridized orbitals. So if 2 atomic orbitals, they mix together, then 2 hybrid orbitals will be formed. So the number of atomic orbitals which mix together or which participate in hybridization will give rise to the same number of hybrid orbitals. So here 4 atomic orbitals are participating in hybridization. So we get 4 pure hybridized orbitals. Okay. So now there can be different types of hybridization. In this chapter we shall learn about there is one more point that we need to remember, that is hybrid orbitals. Hybrid orbitals always give rise to sigma bond. Always give rise to sigma bond. Sigma bond. Okay, they do not form pi bonds. So hybrid orbitals, they only form pi bonds. Okay, and the pure atomic orbitals, they participate in pi bonding, that we will see later. Okay, but this is one more point that you need to remember. Now in this chapter we shall learn about sp3 hybridization, sp2 hybridization, sp hybridization, sp3 dehybridization and sp3 d2 hybridization. These 5 types of hybridization we shall discuss in this chapter. Okay, so let us proceed one by one. Now, as you can see that suppose in case of sp3 hybridization, there is 1 s orbital and 3 p orbitals mixing together to produce 4 sp3 hybridized orbitals. Similarly, in case of sp2 hybridization, what happens? 2 p orbitals and 1 s orbital, they intermix to produce 3 hybridized orbitals. Okay. Similarly, in case of sp, 1 s orbital and 1 p orbital, they combine to produce 2 hybridized orbitals. So always the number of pure atomic orbitals combining will give rise to the equal number of hybridized orbitals. So here 1 s orbital, 3 p orbital and 1 d orbital are participating in hybridization. Okay, so total 5 hybrid orbitals we will get. Similarly here, in case of sp3d2, 1 s orbital, 3 p orbital and 2 d orbitals are participating. So we will get 6 hybrid orbitals. So let us discuss one by one. Okay, so the first hybridization that we will learn is sp hybridization. So sp hybridization So let us take one example of sp hybridization. BeF2. Okay, BeF2. So let us see the ground state configuration of Be. So the ground state configuration of Be is 2s2, right? 2s2. This. So the excited state configuration will be this. These two paired up electrons will unpair and we get two unpaired electrons which will participate in bond formation with f orbital, but not like this after hybridization, because the two BeF bonds are equivalent to each other. That can be attributed or that can be explained only when the combining orbitals are also same, correct? So that we can attain by hybridization only. So here we need two hybrid orbitals. Why? Because there are only two bonds, so only two hybrid orbitals are required. So these two orbitals will mix up and give result to sp hybridization. Okay, so sp hybridization. So in case of sp hybridization, we get two hybrid orbitals. These two hybrid orbitals are called sp hybrid orbitals, and there are two p orbitals, these two p orbitals which are unhybridized. So these are unhybridized p orbitals. Okay, so these are two sp hybrid orbitals which will participate in bond formation. So the electrons are occupying these orbitals. Now, what happens? This BeF2, two electrons from fluorine will come and bond with these two electrons. So one electron is of beryllium and the other electron is of fluorine. This electron is coming from fluorine, and these are the unhybridized p orbitals. Okay, so this is the bonding in case of BeF2. Okay, so we have already seen the structure, but we shall draw it again. So it is Be. This is BeF2.